exploring key technologies supporting GRC. Let's dive deeper into some specific technical controls and the technologies that enable them, focusing on their role in supporting your GRC objectives. 1. Identity and Access Management (IAM). This manages digital identities, users, services, and controls their access to resources, systems, applications, data. The key functions include identity management, creating, managing, and deleting user accounts and credentials; authentication, verifying a user's identity, e.g. passwords, MFA; authorization, granting appropriate permissions based on roles or attributes, implementing least privilege; auditing, logging access events for accountability. How it supports GRC: it enforces access control policies, ensures accountability by linking actions to verified identities, mitigates risks of unauthorized access, privilege escalation, and insider threats, helps meet compliance requirements related to access control, user management and auditing found in NDPA, GDPR, PCI DSS, SOX, ISO 27001, etc. 2. Multi-factor authentication, MFA. This requires users to provide 2 or more different types of verification factors before granting access. Factors include something you know, password, PIN, something you have, phone app authenticator, hardware token, SMS code, something your fingerprint, facial recognition. How it supports GRC: it drastically reduces the risk of unauthorized access due to compromised passwords, a very common attack vector, especially via phishing and BEC, increasingly mandated or strongly recommended by regulations, e.g. CBN often requires it for certain financial transactions. PCI DSS requires it for administrative access. Consider the baseline security practice. 3. Firewalls, network and web application firewalls, WAF. Network firewalls sits at network boundaries, perimeter, internal segments, and filter traffic based on rules, source, destination, IP address, port, protocol. They enforce network segmentation. Web application firewalls, WAFs, sits in front of web applications and filter traffic based on specific web attack patterns, e.g. SQL injection, cross-site scripting, XSS. How it supports GRC: it enforces network access policies. It mitigates risk of network intrusion, unauthorized access, spread of malware between network segments, and common web application attacks. It is a fundamental requirement for many standards, e.g. PCI DSS requirement. 1. Explicitly mandates firewalls. Helps protect sensitive data accessed via networks, web apps relevant to NDPA and GDPR. 4. Intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDPs. What it does: monitor network traffic or system activities for suspicious patterns or known malicious signatures. IDs detection generates alerts when potential threats are detected. IPs prevention can also take automated actions to block the detected malicious activity. How it supports GRC: it helps detect and potentially prevent intrusions, malware activity, and policy violations in real time. Reduces the impact of attacks by enabling faster response. Supports compliance requirements related to network monitoring and threat detection, e.g. PCI DSS requirement 11. Logs generated are crucial for incident analysis and audits. 5. Encryption, data at rest and data in transit. It uses cryptographic algorithms to transform readable data, plain text, into an unreadable format, ciphertext, requiring a secret key to decrypt. Data in transit protects data as it travels across networks, e.g. TLS and SSL for web traffic, VPNs for remote access, encrypted email. Data at rest protects data stored on disks, databases, backups, laptops, mobile devices, e.g. full disk encryption, database encryption, file level encryption. How it supports GRC: it enforces data protection and classification policies requiring sensitive data be encrypted, significantly mitigates the impact of data breaches. Even if data is stolen, it remains confidential if properly encrypted and keys are secure, reduces risk of sensitive data exposure. It is a key requirement or strong recommendation in virtually all data protection regulations, NDPA, GDPR, and standards PCI DSS, HIPAA, for protecting sensitive information. 6. Data loss prevention, DLP. This monitors data in use on endpoints in motion across the network and at rest in storage to detect and potentially block attempts to exfiltrate sensitive information outside authorized channels. Uses rules based on content analysis, keywords, patterns like credit card numbers or national identity numbers, NIN. How it supports GRC. It directly enforces policies regarding sensitive data handling and authorized disclosure. It mitigates the risk of accidental or intentional data leakage, protecting against intellectual property theft, exposure of customer data, or insider threats. It directly supports compliance with data privacy regulations, NDPA, GDPR, by preventing unauthorized disclosure of personal data. Helps meet PCI DSS requirements for protecting cardholder data. 7. Security Information and Event Management (SIEM). It collects log data from various sources across the network, servers, firewalls, applications, endpoints, etc., aggregates it, correlates events to identify potential security incidents, generates alerts, and provides reporting and forensic capabilities. How it supports GRC. It enables faster threat detection and incident response by providing centralized visibility and automated correlation. Helps identify anomalies and policy violations. It is essential for meeting compliance requirements related to log collection, monitoring, auditing, and incident reporting found in PCI DSS, ISO 27001, SOX HIPAA, and often needed for effective NDPA and GDPR breach investigation and reporting. Provides data for monitoring control effectiveness and policy compliance. Implementing and managing a SIEM effectively requires significant resources, cost, storage, skilled personnel for analysis and rule tuning, which can be a consideration for some organizations in Nigeria. 8. Endpoint detection and response, EDR. This is an evolution of traditional antivirus, focusing on advanced threat detection, investigation, and response capabilities directly on endpoints, laptops, desktops, servers. Provides more visibility into endpoint activity, detects sophisticated malware, fileless attacks, ransomware, and allows security teams to remotely investigate and contain threats on devices. How it supports GRC. It significantly improves mitigation and detection capabilities against modern endpoint threats like ransomware, a major global and local threat. Reduces dwell time of attackers. It supports compliance requirements for endpoint security, malware protection, and incident response capabilities. It often integrated with traditional antivirus EPI endpoint protection platform or offered as a managed service, MDR, managed detection and response. 9. Vulnerability management tools. As discussed in Module 4, these tools are used to scan for, report on, and track the remediation of vulnerabilities. How it supports GRC as a control process. It enforces policies and standards regarding patching and vulnerability remediation timelines. It directly mitigates risks by identifying and facilitating the fixing of exploitable weaknesses. It is required by many standards, PCI DSS, ISO 27000, and one often imply it, and regulations indirectly through requirements for secure system maintenance. These technologies represent core components of a modern technical security control strategy, each playing a vital role in executing GRC objectives.